Man, you just clicked on a video that potentially has the power to change the way you communicate for the rest of your life, which means that every single area of your life can get better. Not because this will give you a six pack and have you speaking seven languages, but because the way you communicate affects every single area of your life. Public speaking is the invisible layer of the business world, and communication is the meta skill that makes everything better. If you master this framework, now, this is nothing new, okay? We'll use the movie Inception to teach it. I learned this like 20 some years ago, 2005, 2006. And my mentor taught me this, which was an old hypnosis trick. Embedded loops, embedded command, nested loops, nested commands, the whole thing. This is how you speak in a way without scripts, without stress, without memorization, to cause people to feel like doing the thing you want them to. So this can increase your conversion rates, increase your sales, multiply your income, impact, influence. So if you're at the stage of, I want to make some sales, give me some sales, you want to get on stage, you want your webinar to convert, this is for you. If you're at the stage of, I'm good financially, I'm about growth and contribution and helping others, you need this too. Hey, whoa, 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 it's impossible to have one communication framework that works for everything. I get it. This is not a script. This is not a template. It's a way of framing your story. So if you say you're speaking in a eulogy, you can use this structure to help the people in the audience forgive Uncle Larry. If your intention at your eulogy speech is to reunite the family, you can use this. If your intention is to feed people to invest in your idea or invest in your business, you can use that structure. And if you just want your conversion rates on your webinar to increase, you can use that. It's a meta framework you can use. So just let's get back to this camera. This is where the learning happens. If you want to take notes and apply what you learn here, it could potentially change the way you communicate for the rest of your life. All right, so let's get into it. Let's show you how to use that framework using the movie Inception. I'll also show you how we map this to the best speech in the world perfectly to a T, and how we used it with a client to make over $500,000 in a week using that exact framework. So the situation in the movie Inception is basically there is a Japanese company afraid that some other big company is going to take them over and crush them because they're going to have a world monopoly on power. Think oil or electricity, whatever the power is. And this guy's about to die and transfer the ownership to his son, and they don't want new blood in the business fueling growth ambitions to crush them. So they hire a company to plant a seed of an idea in the subconscious mind of the son during his dream. So we're going to have a dream within a dream within a dream. And they want to plant an idea here that makes it so that he decides to not take over the company. And he decides, you know what? I'm going to dissolve that thing. So the call to action is dissolve the company. But why would he do that? He would never do that. There's like billions and billions of dollars for him. So step one is they create a story, just as you would for any one of your pitches, webinars, or presentations. You need to create a story. Step one. So the story here is uncle. So there's the dad, there's the son. His uncle is a trusted figure. And the trusted figure in the dream says something like, you know, your father never wanted you to follow in his footsteps. And that kind of plays with his mind because he's thinking, he's angry at his dad. He's thinking, my dad thinks I can't do it. He thinks I'm not good enough. He always played down whatever I tried to do, and he never got the respect of his dad. And then the uncle hints about something about a safe where there's a separate will. So like the kid is supposed to have the company, but there's a different will in some sort of a safe, and it's just kind of a dream state. Okay? Then in that dream, they drug him again on the plane, put him in the second layer of a dream. In that second layer, they make him realize that his uncle is kind of hiding something, and he gets a burning sensation. He wants to go out and find it out for himself. So this is a trusted figure. They put the doubt in the trusted figure. Nobody would ever do that in society. I've never seen that nowhere. That of course that never happens in any persuasive situations. So they come in here, and then they haven't decided, I'm gonna find this out on my own. They drug him inside that dream. He goes to a third dream, which in that dream he finds the safe he was looking for to find the secret his uncle was maybe hiding. And in that dream, he goes in there angry at his dad, with the anger. His whole life, his dad is disappointed in him. Never wanted him to follow in his footsteps. What, you think I'm not good enough? I'm going to do this. I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to take the business and I'm going to crush everybody else. I'm going to prove you, Dad, that I can do this. Gets there on the deathbed and he sees the safe next to the bed. He opens the safe on the bed, and in the safe there's some sort of a thing that the kid was doing when he was a child, and he realizes, oh my God, my dad is not disappointed in me because I'm not good enough. He's disappointed in me because I never was my own man. He wanted me all along to do my own thing, and I was not doing it. See the shift there? Feel the shift? In his mind, it shifts. Oh, snap. All this time, I had it wrong. He admits that to himself, changes on the spot. It's a shift. It's a distinction. No matter if we work together in any capacity and we create these stories for you, whatever stories we create, the audience needs to have a click, needs to have a moment where they go, oh, snap, click. They get it. This is how you create, with multiple layered stories, a moment where people get it. As soon as this guy gets it, they wrap up, they come back to the second dream. Now I get it. That's what my uncle was hiding. He gets it. He makes the link. And as soon as that's done, they wrap up the other dream. You know what? Secretly, I love my dad. I will honor his will. And the best way for me to honor his will is to do my own thing. So when I get this business, I'm going to dissolve it. I'm going to dissolve the business, take the money, do my own thing based on the distinction I just had in the dream inside a dream. This is what we call a sandwich. Oh, objection, objection, objection. Objections are good. So if you're selling, you're using this to bust objections. If you're teaching, you're using this to remove ignorance inside the mind of the people listening to you. Okay, let's just come back here. We're going to learn better here. And the way you use this, so it's so easy. We have a process. This is all basic stuff we teach in the academy. If you're not in the academy, you're losing out big time. This is just basic stuff we're teaching inside the academy here, like how to choose your stories, which stories to tell, what beliefs to bust, how to create all that. So you write here story one. Let's say your story one for you it will be like your skateboard story of the thing that happened. Story two here, it would be like the grandma cookie story. And then the objection is whatever the thing is, like time is not important. Whatever the thing is, time is an objection. And then in here you have what we call a money shot. The money shot is the third one. The money shot is where the shift happens. This is where you have a prop that you come out on stage with, or a demonstration, and you map it out like this. So you come on stage and it says, your note literally says, skateboard, grandma story, and then time demonstration. You can do this easily without any scripts. So this is how you map it out. It's called a sandwich. Now, if you notice properly, the way people mess this up all the time is, like beginners, they will start a story, finish the whole thing. Start another story, finish the whole thing. Then they go to the demonstration, which is better than 99% of people. You want to take this to the next level, you do what they did in Inception. You start your story and you bring it to the point of drama, tension. You bring it to the point of, oh my God, something's cooking. You bring it somewhere. And when it's there, you transition to the other one. How do you transition? It depends. It depends on the situation. But from there, you transition to the other one. It's called an open loop, which is going to be closed later on. Okay. Same thing here. You build that one up to the point of, oh my God, something's about to happen. And when that, you see this in movies all the time. You know, they open the, somebody's driving, then they open the door. As the door closes, you hear the cluck. But then the cluck is a sound of another scene of something else. And your mind is used to making these transitions all the time. It's easy. Okay? So you just keep on going like this. As soon as you got the click, the distinction, you wrap it up and you wrap it up. We've used this, the shortest we've used this is a 2-minute presentation. The longest we've used this is a 9-week TV show series. Okay? A sandwich within a sandwich within a sandwich within a sandwich, and the whole thing sandwiched between everything. And to make that pop, the way you, so you were wondering, well, how do I make money from this again? Before all that, you have a hook in the beginning, and at the end of this, you have your call to action. Okay, we have 2 different types of call to action. This is not in the scope of this video, but if you preface this with a hook that ties into your call to action, and you embed and nest your stories within this or everything, so this sets up that, and the hook sets up your call to action, you're golden. All right. Okay. So I heard once about somebody saying, I hope this is clear to you. A YouTube video, I don't have any feedback, so just, comment below, leave me some questions or anything like that. Or in your case, maybe even insults. The objection came here. So questions, insults, or comments below. So I'll be happy to answer this. So I heard about this best speech in the world, so I have to go and read it. It's called Acres of Diamonds. So I started reading the book. It's a story. Right from the beginning is a story. And then as they're telling the story, one of the characters in the story starts telling a story. You mean it's a story within a story? Okay, let's go with that. And then in that story, one of the characters is telling a story. You mean it's a story within a story within a story? Wow, how bizarre is that? And here, the money shot, okay, what we put in our sandwich, or in Inception, the safe that gives the aha moment, is that this guy left his house, left his home in search for diamonds. He went all over the country searching for diamonds. He was going everywhere. And he left his home. And then he died trying to find diamonds. He never found any. Died poor. Nothing could find. Years later, they sell his house and they dig under the house and they find the biggest diamond mine in the country, the biggest diamond source in the country, under his house. So you get the moral of the story. You have everything you need inside. No need to go look outside. Wrap up this story that was whatever it was, and wrap up that story which is whatever it was. Okay? Where if you just go straight for the first one, there's no weight to it. It feels, yeah, that's cute. But when it's embedded inside another one and another one, it multiplies the power of the distinction and the shift you have. And this distinction and shift is what's needed for you to move forward. And it's what's needed for your audience to move forward. Like, we don't have time in this video, but if people are not buying your coaching program or not signing up for your app or whatever the thing is, it's not, well, it depends. I don't know what your coaching is, but it's not because they don't want that coaching. It's because they have obstacles preventing them from doing even what they want. They know they should not be eating that cookie at 12:30 at night, yet they get up and they go and eat it. There's something else inside of them. You need to help them have deeper distinctions, and this is how you do it. Okay? So let's give another situation. We have a situation where it's here in Montreal, Canada. It was crazy for COVID. I mean, we had police curfews, government enforced police curfews. Like, you couldn't get outside past 8. It was a ghost town. It was crazy here. Client comes up and says, okay, I'm selling a coaching program, how to meet people. Now, we all know now it's okay, but in the middle of that COVID thing, especially like there was a place where like this is going to be for years, we don't know what it was going to be. People were scared, terrified. Nobody could even go out. And yet you want to sell coaching about how to meet people and not online dating in real life, how to meet people at cafes and in real life. Like it was an impossible sale at the time. So I don't know. Let's build a sandwich. Let's see what do we have. So we start with a story that says, I used to smoke cigarettes, and I would sometimes have bursts of willpower. I'd just try to stop smoking for maybe 2 weeks or something, and then after 2 weeks of not smoking, I would just celebrate by smoking a cigarette. And so same thing for any addiction. You just celebrate. Oh, see, I can do it. I got the willpower. So now let me just have one. See what happens. Then, inevitably, it's as if my mind had been secretly calculating, okay, let's see. So you've missed 14 days times 15 cigarettes. So you owe me 2,000 cigarettes of a dose. So let's average that over 3 months. So we're going to smoke an extra 70 cigarettes over 3 months to get it back, get the juice back. There's no way to just not have the juice back. Same thing happened. Now we're in the thing where we're in COVID situation. This is 2020-ish. 100 years ago, do we have a precedent for this? 100 years ago, there was a Spanish flu in the States. People couldn't go anywhere. They were all confined. And what happened after this? It's called the Roaring Twenties. There was crazy orgies in high society after this. The same mechanism of the slingshot of the addiction happened in the love scene and in the meeting people and in the gathering things. Now, what happens for most people is that their love life is kind of like a NASCAR race. Like different relationship, different phase, same relationship. Like you go to the next city, different relationship. It's a NASCAR. They just go around and around the same relationship, and they never really take time to change. Double whammy here. And just as in the supermarket, the best time to buy a stock is when it's low because it's going to go high again. People are freaking out. So when people, whatever the quote is, like when people are greedy, it's time to be fearful. When they're fearful, it's time to be greedy. So you buy low and sell high. We're now at the lowest. And just as a NASCAR race goes in and does a pit stop, now is the time to invest in yourself. Take the time to change those tires. Change your inner GPS for decision makings about relationship. Clean the windshield of your car so that when the race starts again, when dating season is open again, you're ready for all this. And you don't need to, and you can capitalize on the back whammy of all things that's inevitably going to happen. You see how that works? Story one, story two. In that case, a dual sandwich, and then just wrapping up of the stories. Boom. 34 point something percent closing rate on a webinar. 5% is okay. 10% is great. 15% is like, good Lord, this is amazing. 34% closing rate on a webinar without burning the audience. Just by telling stories. Oh, it's cute. There's a NASCAR analogy and stuff. I just did it fast now, but it was longer than this. So just by using these ways of communicating, you can get your message across in a way that it lands hard. It's easy for you to do it. No scripts, no memorization, no stress. You're definitely losing out if you're not using some of that stuff. I mean, we have a free trial in the Academy. You get this book, free trial, go there and use it. You're also losing out if you're not on the newsletter. Use that. If you don't have the one-step public speaking confidence checklist, you're losing out on this thing. And you also have as another bonus, there should be a link in the description somewhere, try to find something called the 5 biggest stage profit killers. Stuff going on internally in your mind that you need to have a shift at that level. And we have the stories to help you get that shift so you can get out there, kick butt, take names, grow your influence, your reach. And if you're into helping people, help people. If you're not into helping people, help yourself first. And eventually, it's just hierarchy of needs. You'll just go to the place where you realize, wait a minute, the better I get, the better results I get. The better results I get, the better people I work with. The better people I work with, the more power I can have in my network. And I can maybe start making a difference here. I'm not saying you need to go out there and change the world. You do what you do, use that to make all the money you want. I'm just saying we might live in a better place if honest people were more persuasive in all areas of life, business and politics. So if you know anybody that the world would benefit from having them speak with more confidence on stage, on camera, in meetings, or wherever you have to speak, you just say, hey man, there's this weird guy on YouTube with a funny accent because he speaks French. Just tell him to go, man, you got to go speak with Sly. Send him here. Or you can go to nextlevelpublicspeaking.com to see how we can implement all this and more in your business. Thanks for watching.